Welcome back, Bladers, to another awesome episode to the Evolution of Beyblade series. In today's episode, we are going to be covering the evolution of Ryuga's L-Drago base throughout the Beyblade franchise, from Metal Fight in 2008 all the way to Beyblade X in 2024. So let's jump into our time machines and travel all the way back to 2008. Enter L-Drago 105 Flat. L-Drago was the first left-rotating Bey in the Metal Saga, releasing in Metal Fight's first and original system, the simple 4-part Metal system by Takara Tomy in 2008 in Japan. This version of L-Drago was owned by Ryuga in the Beyblade manga, as he stole it during Dark Nebula's invasion of Kuma Village and immediately killed Ryo Hagane with it. Yeah, the Beyblade manga was wild. As L-Drago was a standard Metal System Beyblade, it released with 4 main parts, which were the face bolt, the metal wheel, the spin track, and the performance tip. First, we have the L-Drago 1 face bolt. This face bolt depicts the dragon of the Draco constellation, as it features a side profile of a dragon facing towards the left with the word L-Drago written beneath it. L-Drago released with the L-Drago wheel, which was the very first left rotating wheel in the Metal Saga. It featured 3 awesome sloped counterclockwise facing dragon heads. The last parts that were released on L-Drago were the standard 105 spin track and the flat performance tip. Later in the Beyblade manga, during the Battle Bladers tournament, during Ryuga's battle with Benkei, L-Drago absorbs the energy from Dark Ball's Red Horn uppercut, evolving it into the Lightning L-Drago. Enter Lightning L-Drago 100 Whole Flat. Lightning L-Drago was the first L-Drago Beyblade to be introduced into the hybrid wheel system. This system was the second system in the Metal Saga succeeding the original Metal system. It separated the old singular metal wheel into 2 new awesome parts. These parts are the clear wheel or energy ring and the fusion wheel or metal wheel. Lightning was originally released by Takara Tomy in 2009 in Japan. It was then later released internationally through Hasbro in 2010. Just like the previous L-Drago Bey, Lightning was also owned by Ryuga in the Beyblade manga, whilst also being the first Bey Ryuga was introduced with in the Metal Fusion anime, making Lightning his second L-Drago Bey in the manga, whilst also being his first in the anime. Just like the first L-Drago, Ryuga obtains Lightning the same way in the anime, as he steals it during the invasion of Kuma Village, albeit the anime version was way less violent. As Lightning is a hybrid system Bey, it released with 5 main parts. These parts were the face bolt, the metal wheel, the clear wheel, the spin track, and the performance tip. Just like L-Drago 105 Flat, Lightning L-Drago also released with the standard L-Drago 1 face bolt. As L-Drago has entered the hybrid wheel system, the metal wheel has been separated into 2 main parts. These parts are known as the metal wheel, also known as the fusion wheel, and the clear wheel, which is also known as the energy ring. Starting with the clear wheel, we have the L-Drago 1 clear wheel. Now, just like the original L-Drago, which features 3 dragon heads, this energy ring also features 3 dragon heads of a similar design. It's also only less spin and can only be used with a lightning fusion wheel. As the metal wheel has been separated into 2 parts, L-Drago now has the ability to perform a mode change by rotating the dragon heads 180 degrees on the lightning fusion wheel, switching it from upper attack mode to barrage attack mode. The lightning fusion wheel is a left rotating wheel that features 6 main contact points. It's also only compatible with the L-Drago 1 energy ring. The last parts that released on Lightning L-Drago were the 100 spin track and the whole flat performance tip, which, as the name implies, is a flat tip with a hole. In the manga, Lightning eventually evolves into Meteo L-Drago during Ryuga's battle with Helios after absorbing energy from Soul Blaze, whereas in the anime, Lightning evolves into Meteo after Ryuga overcomes a dark power, making it his own. Enter Meteo L-Drago Left Wing 105 Left Flat. Meteo L-Drago was the second L-Drago Bey to be introduced into the hybrid wheel system. Meteo was released by Takara Tomy in 2010, while it was later released for international audiences through Hasbro in 2011. Just like his predecessors, Meteo was also owned by Ryuga in both the Beyblade anime and manga, making Meteo his second Bey in the anime, whilst also being his third L-Drago Bey in the manga. As Meteo L-Drago was also a hybrid system Bey, it released with 5 main parts. These parts were the face bolt, the metal wheel with clear wheel, the spin track, and the performance tip. Starting with the L-Drago 2 face bolt. Just like the previous L-Drago 1 face bolt, it still depicts Draco, which is one of the 88 constellations in space. While the L-Drago 2 face bolt still features a dragon facing towards the left, the text from the L-Drago 1 face bolt has now been removed and replaced with claws instead. The L-Drago 2 clear wheel, which is also known as the L-Drago Absorb, is left spin only and can only be used with the Meteo fusion wheel. As the L-Drago 2 wheel is the successor to the L-Drago 1 wheel, it still features 3 counterclockwise facing dragon heads. It also retains its ability to rotate the dragon heads 180 degrees on the Meteo fusion wheel, allowing us to switch Meteo between 2 main modes. These modes are the Barrage mode and the Assault mode. This L-Drago 2 clear wheel also featured rubber. Now this clear wheel was truly a game changer. While the concept of spin stealing was previously introduced through Meteo's predecessor, the Lightning L-Drago, Takara Tomy took this gimmick a step further by introducing rubber on the L-Drago 2 clear wheel, which helps Meteo to equalize more effectively from an opposing Beyblade. This gimmick would later become a series standard in the Beyblade franchise, becoming the inspiration for Beyblade Burst's Fafnir series. The Meteo wheel is a left rotating wheel that features 6 main contact points like its predecessor Lightning. Although unlike the Lightning wheel, which was only compatible with the L-Drago 1 clear wheel, the Meteo fusion wheel is not only compatible with the L-Drago 2 energy ring, but is also compatible with both the Rush and Assault rings, which were L-Drago variants that originally released in Takara Tomy's L-Drago Ultimate Customized set. These L-Drago variants also later had international releases. Meteo L-Drago released with a left wing 105 spin track, which is basically 105 with 3 left facing wings instead of the standard handlebar protrusions. Meteo also released with a left flat tip, which as the name implies, features 6 left facing spikes forming a star-like shape. In the Beyblade manga, Meteo evolves into Destructor during Ryuga's battle with Faust after Meteo destroyed Twisted Tempo and absorbed its energy, whereas in the anime, Meteo evolves into L-Drago Destructor after it receives the Star Fragment when Ryuga was selected as a legendary blader. Enter L-Drago Destructor Final Survive. Destructor was the first L-Drago Bey to be released within the 4D system. The Metal Fight Beyblade 4D wheel system consisted of gimmicks that either further separated parts or combined them to form new parts. L-Drago Destructor was originally released by Takara Tomy in 2011 in Japan. It was then later released internationally through Hasbro in 2013 and 2014 in the Spark Effects and the Hyperblade Legends toy line. But these international versions of Destructor wasn't the first international release, as in 2012, Hasbro first adapted the 4D bays in the Metal Fury toy line without their 4D gimmicks or parts within the standard hybrid wheel system. This version of Destructor was still known as the L-Drago Destructor, except this version released with Meteo spin track and performance tip instead of a Final Survive 4D bottom. Destructor was the third L-Drago Bey that was owned by Ryuga in the Beyblade anime, whilst also being his 4th L-Drago in the Beyblade Metal Fury manga. Destructor released with 4 parts. These parts are the face bolt, the plastic core, the metal frame, and the 4D bottom. Starting with the L-Drago 3 face bolt. Just like the previous L-Drago 1 and L-Drago 2 face bolts, it still depicts the Draco constellation. Except this time around, the L-Drago 3 face bolt features a more aggressive design when compared to its predecessors. Moving on to our main attraction, we have the L-Drago Destructor 4D wheel. Now this metal wheel is comprised out of 2 parts, which are the metal frame and the plastic core, also known as a PC core. The L-Drago Destructor metal frame keeps the tradition of the previous L-Drago wheels alive, as it still features the 3-headed dragon design, except unlike its predecessors that were released in the hybrid wheel system, the dragon heads are now metal instead of plastic, just like the original L-Drago 105 flat. Moving on to the second part of our Destructor 4D wheel, we have the plastic core. Now this PC core features 6 main protrusions, just like the Lightning and the Meteo wheel. with 3 of the 6 main protrusions featuring rubber. Just like its predecessors, Destructor retains the ability to perform a mode change by rotating the dragon heads 180 degrees. These two modes are known as the attack mode and the absorb mode. The final part that released on Destructor was the Final Survive 4D bottom. Now this 4D bottom had an insane gimmick, as when launched the tabs on the side of this Final Survive tip would extend upwards when on high rotation, which retracts the sharp tip and exposing the whole flat performance tip, making this BEY extremely aggressive. But when FS starts to slow down, the tabs retract, once again revealing the sharp tip switching from an attack mode to a stamina mode. L-Drago Destructor also has a power-up evolution in the Beyblade manga, which also had a physical release, known as the Golden Armour L-Drago Destructor. This version of Destructor was released in Japan in 2011. While it features the same L-Drago wheel, there are some minor changes. Its faceport now features a front profile design of a dragon's head of the L-Drago avatar, instead of your standard side profile view. It also had a different colour scheme, and it released with a downforce 105 spin track and the left rubber flat performance tip instead of a Final Survive 4D bottom. Later in the Beyblade manga, Destructor undergoes a temporary evolution inside the Nemesis training simulator, evolving from Destructor into the L-Drago Guardian. Enter L-Drago Guardian Shield 130 Metal Ball. Guardian was originally released by Takara Tomy in 2011 in Japan as a part of the Ultimate DX set. It was then later released internationally through Hasbro in 2012 within the Spark Effects toy line. Guardian was the 5th L-Drago BEY that was owned by Ryuga in the Beyblade manga. This L-Drago didn't appear in the anime, making it manga exclusive. So L-Drago Guardian released with 5 parts. These parts were the faceport, the plastic core, the metal frame, the spin track, and the performance tip. Guardian released with a recolored L-Drago 3 faceport. Moving on to our main attraction, we have the L-Drago Guardian 4D metal wheel. Now like Destructor, Guardian has a metal frame and a plastic core. The Guardian metal frame still features a 3-headed dragon design, except Guardian has a less aggressive rounded design when compared to Destructor. The plastic core is a recolored version of the Destructor core. This 4D wheel still retains this ability to perform a mode change by rotating the dragon heads 180 degrees. The last parts that released on Guardian were the Shield 130 spin track and the metal ball performance tip. Enter Lightning L-Drago 10 Reach Zephyr Dash. Lightning was re-released in the Beyblade Burst system 10 years later in 2019 in the Metal Fight Beyblade 10th Anniversary set. This BEY was also canonically the 6th L-Drago BEY that Ryuga owned in the Metal Saga, as during the 10th anniversary celebration, there was a one-shot manga written by the original author of the Metal Fight Beyblade story, Takafumi Adachi, called Metal Fight Beyblade Soul Burst. In Soul Burst, it's explained how and why the burst system was introduced in the Metal Saga. Soul Burst was also confirmed by the author to take place right after the events of Metal Fury, but years before Zero G. The Lightning L-Drago layer is basically the L-Drago 1 faceport, the L-Drago 1 clear wheel, and the Lightning Fusion wheel, all fused into one new awesome part. This remake also released with a Zephyr driver, in an attempt to replicate the original whole flat performance tip. Enter Meteo L-Drago 7 Vortex Spiral Dash. Meteo was also re-released in the Beyblade Burst system 10 years later in 2020 in the Metal Fight Beyblade 2020 Baku set. This BEY doesn't appear in any media and likely isn't canon to the Beyblade story. The Meteo L-Drago layer is basically the L-Drago 2 faceport, the L-Drago 2 clear wheel, and the Meteo Fusion wheel all fused into one epic part. This remake also released with a spiral driver to replicate the left flat performance tip. Enter Lightning L-Drago 160 flat. Now moving on to 2024, we're currently in the 4th generation of Beyblade, known as Beyblade X, and Lightning L-Drago has once again received another remake, but this time around in the Beyblade X system. It was re-released by Takara Tomy in 2024 as a part of their crossover campaign. At the time of recording this episode, this Lightning remake hasn't appeared in any media related to the Metal Fight story, and it currently isn't canon, although this could change at any point in the future. This remake released with the L-Drago Blade, which is the L-Drago 1 faceport, the L-Drago 1 clear wheel, and the Lightning Fusion wheel, all fused into one new awesome part. So there's two versions of this blade. There's one that's fixed in upper mode, and there's one that's fixed in barrage mode. Lightning also released with a 160 ratchet and the flat bit. So what are your thoughts on this new Lightning L-Drago Beyblade X remake? And which L-Drago Bay would you guys like to see remade next in this awesome new system? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. You guys are always asking me, where can I buy Metal Fight Beyblades in 2024? Guess what, Bladers, I have a fantastic place for you. So we have officially partnered up with Base Station, and you guys can use my promo code DaimyoGT for a 7% discount. Base Station sells high quality Metal Fight Beyblade reproductions from Beyblade Metal Fusion, Beyblade Metal Masters, Beyblade Metal Fury, and even Beyblade Shogun Steel. In fact, Base Station sells a wide variety of products spanning from accessories like stadiums, string launchers, and launcher grips. They even sell products from other generations like Beyblade Burst and even the latest generation, Beyblade X. All orders will be shipped on the same business day. But guess what, Bleeders? I have a secret. Come closer. They even offer free shipping. And we can't forget about their excellent return policy, as they offer a 60-day grace period on all orders. And even if you decide you don't want your item, Base Station will pay for the shipping for you to return your order. No questions asked. Once you guys are at the checkout, remember to type in my code DaimyoGT for your discount. If you stuck around to the end of today's episode, I just want you to know you're absolutely freaking fantastic. Today's episode was extremely long, but I truly hope you guys enjoyed it. Also, which bays should we cover in this Evolution series next? The Dragoon bays, the Valkyrie bays, the Strato Dragoon bays, or the Excalibur bays? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to smash that like button down below, share this video with a friend, and subscribe with the bell notifications on if you haven't already. Let's get this epic video to 500 likes. Before we wrap up, as you guys just saw earlier, we've officially partnered up with Base Station. By using my promo code is a cool and optional way to support my channel, as it helps me to continue making epic Metal Fight Beyblade content just like this. And guess what, Bladers, you can also buy Lightning L-Drago, Meteo L-Drago, and L-Drago Destructor from Base Station. So don't forget to use my promo code DaimyoGT if you do. Anyway, today's episode is not over yet, so coming up next, Bladers, we have some awesome battles featuring the L-Drago bays. Thanks for tuning in, Bladers, and have a fantastic new year. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.